Hey, what's up? Welcome to the next installment of Mr. American Politics. Let me bring up my talking points so I don't forget what to talk about. Um, I wanted to respond to a video I saw on YouTube. I don't know the original source of the YouTube. It's this black guy talking about what he thinks about Obama. And granted, it was from a year or so back, but I wanted to talk about some of the ignorant, selfish comments. All right, he talks about how the competitive healthcare system is the best reason. He states, "Oh well, I'm gonna." He talks about all these. He basically just talks about how competitive healthcare works supposedly, and why we should use that healthcare system. And um, for one, the competitive healthcare system is one of the is probably the worst healthcare system you can have. If it was so great, why aren't all the other countries using it? If it's so great, how come Sweden doesn't use it, and England and Britain? How come all these countries don't use that? It's because it sucks. Because the insurance companies take advantage of the people because they're not interested in giving you a good product for a cheap price. They're interested in giving you a good product for a for an okay price. And what they do is they collect your premiums. So you get so sick that they feel, oh well, we can't cover you now. We're going to drop you because the law allows them to do that. And then bam, you have to sell your house, your car, or you just die. And if you think that that's not a real issue in American society, there's a Representative Alan Grayson from Florida cited a study done. I believe it was by Harvard. I could be mistaken, but I believe it was Harvard that said basically that on about 44,000 Americans die each year because they either get dropped or can't afford health care, which prevents them from getting life-saving surgery or procedures. And if you can really look at that number and say that it's not okay to allow these people access to health care, then look, explain that to me, because to me that's just one of the that's a disgusting thing to me. But if you have a good explanation for it, I'm open to it. So let's see what you have to say about that. Um, he also talks about how foreigners come to this country for our healthcare system, which is a huge error. No one comes here for our system. They come here to get our healthcare because our doctors, our nurses, our technology are far superior to their countries. Do you think that they would come all the way over here if they could get the same quality of care from their doctors in their countries? Of course they wouldn't come over here. You know? And their insurance company's probably paying for them to get that surgery or to get that whatever they need to get here. Their insurance company is most likely paying for that. I could be wrong there, and if you can show me how I'm wrong on them paying for it, then I'd be open to it, because I'm not totally sure. But either way, they don't come here for our system. They come here for our quality of care. Um, he also talks about how socialized medicine. If socialized medicine is such a bad thing, why aren't you fighting to get rid of Medicare and Medicaid? That's socialized medicine. And granted, the system's become a little bit corrupted because of the politicians. But at the same time, it does allow more people to get access to health care, and it definitely is a positive thing in society. And I think that it should be broadened to allow everyone should have that right. Um, you know, he talks about, oh well, socialism's so great. Why don't you live over there? Because maybe we like it here. Maybe there's some things we like to change. I mean, I'm a capitalist. I believe in working your way up, but I also think that the government should look out for the little guy. For the poor people. I think that that's something I really believe in. But I wanted to talk a little bit more about. He also talks about the energy crisis and how that we should be dependent on our own oil, which at the time Obama was against that, but he did change his mind. He was for drilling until the BP oil spill. But the thing is that drilling for oil in America won't break our energy dependency, because we're still going to be dependent on oil. The idea should be that we should spend money to look into alternative energy sources that are not only more environmentally friendly, but also cheaper and more abundant. Hydrogen fuel. There's all sorts of different things going around. Solar energy. You're never going to run out of the sun. It's just things. It's not breaking our dependency on foreign countries. I mean, do I think that maybe it'd be a good idea to drill here until we get those new technologies? Yeah, I mean, I do. But I think that Obama's right. It's not going to change our dependency on oil. We're just bringing that dependency to the country, making it harder to get alternative energy sources. He also talks about the war, and, you know, he says, he references Obama giving away that he wants to put a timetable for extracting troops, and it's like, he makes an okay point about how, you know, in football, you're not going to give the other coach your game plan, but, for one, this isn't football, this is a war where people are getting killed and murdered, and that's why they hate us. The Iraqi people want us out. But it's more than that. You can't win an ideological war, and we're fighting an ideological war against radical Islam, and it doesn't work. Okay? You know? You can't change the way these people think. So, I mean, do I think that something had to be done militarily after 9/11? Yeah, I do. I don't agree with what happened. I don't agree. I don't think that we should have occupied a whole country that wasn't involved to get terrorists. But I mean, I do think something should have been done. Don't get me wrong. And I do think something should have been done. But you know, the reason Obama says he wants to put a timetable in is because, you know, he's got to get elected, and you know, if that's his plan. I mean, he's not going to give it all the specifics, but if that's his plan, then he's got to let us know, because we have to know who we're voting for. You know, we have to know. We had to know who we were voting for and all this stuff. So I think he's right for saying it, and if you think he's wrong, well then fuck you. No, I'm just kidding. If you think he was wrong, then please add a comment or a response video, and we'll have a little bit of a debate. Look, what it comes down to is that, do I think that what Obama's doing with the country, everything is right? No. I think he's way too much of a moderate, and he's way too ready to sympathize with Republicans. But I do think that we're better off with Democrats in power than Republicans, because the Republicans got us in this fucking mess we're in now. You know, this economic mess stems from the Republican Party. They were in... Even Bill O'Reilly said it was the Republicans' fault, that it was George Bush's fault. He said that on his radio show. I mean, look, you know, I think that what we really need to do is we need another stimulus package, for one. Stimulus package saved 1.4 to 3.3 million jobs. That comes from the CBO, nonpartisan organization. You know, it stimulated $200 billion of money into the economy. So we spent a lot of money. We saved a lot of jobs. I mean, we spent a lot, but we saved a lot of jobs, and we also, you know, helped get some money flowing around. I mean, look, the people care about jobs more than anything else, and we got to give money to. We have to give more money to the states to give to their education sectors, to give to their public works. You know, start building roads, start building shit, because that's where the jobs. You know, there's gonna be people who are gonna want those jobs. You know, there's many ways to get the jobs, but I mean, I'm going off on a tangent now. I just really want to talk about that video. I hope you guys debate me on this. You can leave comments, video responses. Video responses actually are great if you do a video response. All right, or you can message me. That one works too. All right. Thanks for watching Mr. American Politics. I hope you subscribe. Subscribe right here. You know, right there. And stay tuned for more episodes. Thanks.